think I forgot paper towel. I need to go grab paper towel. Here we go. I got paper towel. That's what I was forgetting. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Leanne. If you're new here, I'm a graphic designer, but primarily watercolor artist on this channel. So I do watercolor mostly as my hobby, and it's kind of new for me. I didn't know I could draw until, oh gosh, maybe 5 years ago. And then one day I don't know, it's like something woke up inside of me and I was like, I'm gonna draw, I'm gonna paint. And I do mostly birds. But yeah, so I'm gonna do a paint with me today. It's been a little bit of time since I've done this and I'm trying to be really brave and strong. So I recently lost someone. I'm not gonna talk about it too much because I will probably cry. I lost someone who's really near and dear to me. So I haven't painted since then. And I really want to get back into this because this makes me happy and I need things right now that make me happy. So at the time of everything happening in my life that kind of went upside down, I was working on Avian August. I was going to say birds in, I don't even know what month I'm talking about. Yeah, so anyways, this is where I left off. And so I want to finish this. I did Avian August last year and I want to finish this for myself. And because I'm almost there, I've only got a few birds left, maybe a week worth of birds. So let's do a paint with me. And yeah, let's make this little guy. He's really cute. He is an Arctic Tern, which they look like something that lives on some maybe southern hemisphere or maybe like a north or south, I guess South Pole. I'm not really sure. Oh, I just realized it's called an Arctic Tern. Of course it lives in the Arctic. It's one of those, I don't know, seasons, I guess. I was writing at the name and I messed up the letter. So I put a little Posca pen on it and it's not dry. I'll clean it up before I finish it. So it won't look like an Arctic fern. It will be an Arctic Tern. Okay, so let's get painting and let's do this little guy. I'm really excited to be back at this. And yeah, like I haven't done this in so long and it's been so weird and I feel, it kind of feels weird, but I'm going to just jump in and let's just give him a splash of color. I don't want to do too much detail. I want to be really light and easy with myself and gentle with this process because I am nervous to be even doing this. And so I was getting ready to paint and I was finding everything I could to procrastinate with, and that's always a bad thing. But I mean, in the time that I procrastinate with all these other things, they're usually things that I don't want to do. So it'll be like dishes and things that I've left and probably should have did a couple hours ago or whatever. And it's like, okay, well, painting is really making me anxious right now, so yeah, I should do these dishes. And so I'll spend 20 minutes doing the dishes, and it's those little things that I really shouldn't be doing. And so here I am. Tonight I procrastinated with watching Jeopardy, and I played a little bit of Splatoon, which I played the new one. I really like that game, the Nintendo game. And I don't need to be playing Splatoon or anything else. I need to be doing this. So here I am. I'm doing this little bird. I'm really excited. This color isn't normally a color I use in the gray. This color was just in my palette and I just decided to grab it. And it looks kind of nice. Kind of like this kind of green. I'm actually working on, I'm going to show a video too. I'm working on a new office space upstairs. So right now I'm downstairs in my basement and I have a nice space down here. I've worked on it over the past couple years during COVID and I really love this space, but I want something that's upstairs because I have no sunlight down here. It's great for filming because it's very quiet, but it's one of those things where sometimes you just need a little bit of daylight, and sometimes it's nice to be upstairs because if I'm expecting like a parcel or something, I can be up there to answer the door. And it's hard to hear anything when you're downstairs. Downstairs is pretty quiet. Like it's very secluded down here in private. It's great for doing like conference calls and stuff, but I do want a space where I can get some sunlight and just, I don't know, maybe change the scenery because I do work from home and I love it. I love it so much. It's my dream. but it's nice to, you know, have a different view of things sometimes and just mix it up. So I have another space I'm building upstairs. I'm going to do a video, like I said. And I have interesting paint color, doing kind of a mid-century modern look to it. Hopefully it turns out okay. I'm not really sure what to expect, but I'm getting very close. So I put the paint on last weekend, and now I just need to go pick out some flooring, and that will be ready to get installed. And then after that, it's just decorating. I don't think I've ever had a room in this house, except for maybe this room I'm in now, where I could just paint it and furnish it. Every room has had to be like redone in a way, structurally, because I live in an older house, so it needs upgrades. And so it's kind of just going room by room and doing little updates as I go. So I'm really excited. I can't wait to get in my new space. So this guy has the brightest feet and little beak, and I need to spread this paint around a little bit because I grabbed quite a bit. These core colors are beautiful, but they're very saturated. I'm gonna push this around a bit first and then get in here. Yeah, as I said, this is gonna be a quick painting, I think. When I'm painting like characters like this that are gray, or let's put a little pink in his beak, or like just neutral, really like cool neutral tones. Yeah, it truly is quick to do because those grays, there's not too much you want to do with them before. I mean, they're gray, right? So you want to keep them pretty neutral. And here it's a little bit interesting because we've got the blue and the green in place of the gray, which gives a little bit of interest, but yeah. Otherwise, they're quick to do because there's not really much you can do. And I like how this guy is coming along. So I just have to do this part here is a dark color. I think today I'm going to just play with some purple, because this purple's really nice. Just to get some interest in that black area. I'm going to come in with, I guess I'll go in with the Payne's Gray next. I don't have black on my palette. That's not a color I use. And like Payne's Gray is my black, I guess. But I'm not a big fan of painting like black or anything that dark in a dark color like this. I like to do using colors from my palette that are dark, that would emulate the dark. So blues and purples, and actually Moonglow from Daniel Smith is really great for this kind of thing. So the thing with this Tern is his eye is completely in darkness. I'm going to lift this color just a little bit here so that it is easier to see his eye, but he is completely black on this part of his head. You can barely see his eye. When I was painting him, or actually drawing him, it was a little bit challenging to find where the front part of the eye was. I kind of just guessed at what I thought because the picture that I was referencing was pretty dark. There we go. I think I'm going to drop a little bit of Moonglow. Moonglow is this color that's kind of a purpley, kind of a pink, or I mean a blue, but it's not very, it's really hard to see those colors unless you thin it out. But this guy's got some shadows in here. We'll put them in. It's a nice shadow color to use. I'm gonna hold my hand up and hopefully not, oops, I put a little dot on them. I'll just blend that in. Oh, it's not even there. I'm gonna use this as my shadow color down here too, I think. And yes, right in here too. It's almost like it's too wet and the paint is just like splattering, like not in a way that I want to see it travel. This part of my paper is a little bit messy. I had some color leakage down here from the other side, and then I erased here because I was trying to clean up some stuff that was there and it just ripped up the paper a little bit. My eraser did, so it's not really healthy in that area, but close this off a bit, the shadow, and then a little bit, I just want to give the hint of his body shadow there, and then we'll put a little bit more down here. A little bit of form, I guess, just in those deepest parts of the shadows. He has a lot down here, and actually down here too. right under his chin. Okay, I don't want to overwork him. I think if I keep going on the white part of his body or the gray, I'm just gonna get too carried away. Yes, I just want to put a little bit. I always do this. I always say I'm gonna stop and then I just do one more thing. So I'm just gonna put a little bit on his tail feather here to give the underside some shadow. And that should be good. I'm gonna do now, actually just a little bit. I'm thinking about just the shadows I'm gonna use on this orange and what that's gonna look like. I think maybe something in a cranberry with a mix of brown. I got these colors on my palette, so I'm just gonna grab what I have and maybe try to do a shadow here. Pull that out a bit, and this foot is completely in shadow. I think something like this. He's on this rock that's kind of got a little bit of moss on it. It's kind of greenish and it's got some yellow. Oops, there we go. Just a little bit of this, I guess I've got yellow ochre in here. I want to touch a little bit of green in this. Maybe I'll use Pearline green. That is a color that I got recently, and this is one of my newest colors in my palette. It's made by Winsor & Newton. Core doesn't make a Pearline green, and it's probably the most muted color I have in my palette, and it's so pretty. I'm going to put a little bit more of this yellow ochre in, so I don't want to lose that. So now I'm pretty much done this watercolor painting. This has been a really quick painting for me, and I'm so happy because it's so nerve-wracking to start a painting when you haven't painted in a really long time. So now I have my NeoColors. These are water-soluble pastels, and I just want to add a little bit of, let's put some shadow in here, just a little bit of color to add some interest. I love the pop of color that these give. They just add that punch that is, sometimes the watercolors will get kind of soggy or watered down because they get a little muddy if they've touched too many different colors or become a little bit more muted. I really like the bright colors. And these pastels, just they're more opaque, so they sit right on top. And if the paper is a little damp, it really grabs the color nicely. It's really creamy, and yeah, it just adds that nice pop that I really, really like at the end. Put a little bit of this purple in the shadows. I really like using this color, periwinkle blue, just in the shadows, especially on cooler, well, most shadows are cool, but on cooler tones. I'm gonna try a little bit of blue up here. It's a little muted, but I think it'll be okay. I don't want to disrupt that purple spot that I have too much because I really like how that is sitting kind of on his head. So I'm going to, this is more like a highlight at this point. I'm gonna just scuff it a little bit. Sometimes it's hard to know what color to put in. Sometimes you put in a color that looks like the color you're using and then it just blends in. It doesn't do anything. But I like what it's adding to that. And then maybe this peach color. Yeah, that's better. It's kind of toning down his red a bit, which I don't think is a bad thing because it is a little bright, little on the bright side. The only thing you have to watch out for is they are opaque, so they'll cover up your line work. You can go in and push it around with a brush. Usually what I'll do is just dab a little bit of water on my brush before I come in, and then it'll let me move it around a bit. Yeah, I think he's looking pretty good. I'm really excited. So it's not August, of course, we're in September now, but I do want to finish my birds for Avian August because I did them last year and I'm so close, so I want to finish them up. I was going to do a September challenge with birds too, and I wasn't able to do that. So maybe next year, but yeah, so I really like this. Thank you so much for joining in with this paint with me. And so I'm gonna work this week to finish up these birds and over the next week, and then I'm gonna do another video coming up probably in about a week to show you every bird I've painted in Avian August. So be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss that video. In the meantime, if you want to keep up with each of the birds that I'm painting as I go along, you can follow me on my Instagram, and that's at LeanneLand Art. And until then, I'm just gonna get this guy cleaned up and probably go play some Splatoon now because I feel like I've earned it. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, as I mentioned, so you're notified as more videos are posted to my channel. Thank you so much for watching.